Last one of the week, folks, and I bet you're anxious for the week to come to a merciful end, depending on the stocks that you're long. Ouch. I am Jon Najarian, and this is 3 at 3. 3 at 3 every business day. We break down for you what's been going on in the markets, as well as, of course, unusual option activity. We have it on the one hand with the heat seeker, which is an algorithm that looks for block option buying. And on the other hand, our sentiment scanner, which is scanning Wall Street bets and all of Reddit, as well as every single tweet in the universe. Now, some of you, again, will say, how do you scan a tweet if you don't follow the person or whatever? Twitter sells you the fire hose if you want it. Got to pay for it. It ain't free. But then you get absolutely everything. Then we use machine learning to filter out the stuff that's garbage, to filter out the people, the bots that are garbage, and just follow the people that are accurately just ahead of big information that might be released, or at least maybe they have a little look into the future better than some of us. And for that reason, we want to follow them. So let's get started with today, the 18th of June, 3 at 3. Our disclaimer is that you need to understand the risks before you take them, folks. Please take that to heart. Our intellectual property rights are that we have registered marks, trademarks, patents, and copyright on virtually everything you're about to see. So, pardon me, ask us before you just go ahead and use this in a commercial venue. We would appreciate that. And in fact, you'll keep our lawyers on the sidelines if you do that. Thank you. All right, I thought you guys would get a kick out of this. This is, since we're having the worst week since January, here's a guy feeding his bear. Welcome to Russia. And a lot of us have been feeding the bear this week. Some of that, of course, is the fault of Jay Powell and the Fed. Others would say, well, it's Dudley, or it's this non-voting member or this voting member of the Fed. They are going to be raising rates at some point. The Fed this week said, of course, 2023, approximately 18 months from now. But that's not written in stone. They could do it at any time. I don't think they will, but many people, as you heard Paul Tudor Jones say, this is bat blank crazy, what the Fed is doing. He said, you got to buy all the inflation stocks you can get, because those are the ones that are going to get a lot of love, because the Fed's going to let it run hot. Mr. Tudor Jones isn't a billionaire because he's stupid. He is a good trader, perhaps one of the best there is, and his spider sense is tingling. Doesn't mean he's saying liquidate everything. Listen to what he said. He said buy stocks that are going to benefit from the inflation that the Fed is going to let run hot. So that's one of the things feeding that bear. Now let's roll on to the next slide. Oops, there we go. Not as easy as it looks sometimes. Let's see. How am I not being able to roll? There we go. Thank you. Smith & Wesson, SWBI. We had this when it was an $18 stock. They were buying June 1750s. Boy, they couldn't have timed it much better down to the second practically, because today SWBI came out with their earnings and gave us a projection. And SWBI spiked by better than 16%. Earnings beat. They increased their dividend by 60%. Gotta like that. And those June 1750 calls, well, when the stock spikes up to, let's see, what was the high of the day? 2350-ish, a new 52-week high. When the stock does that, the right to buy it at 1750 is the difference between 1750 and 2350. I think you guys know that that's a lot of money. And knock on wood, the heat seeker had it And I was getting a little nervous because we're coming up into the last days. And yesterday the stock was below 20. We were still okay, but now the second half of our trade really worked out. If you would like to get all of our videos, I would encourage you to go to marketrebellion.com/get started. I'd also encourage you for free to go on over to our YouTube channel. If you go to YouTube, then you'll be able to basically subscribe. You go to YouTube, you type in Market Rebellion, and then what will come up on the screen is that picture of me and my less handsome brother. And then you just click subscribe. Just follow that arrow over to the right side of the screen, click subscribe. If you'd like to have Pete deliver some of that activity to you personally, then just click on the notifications and Pete will come knocking on your door and say, here's that video you asked for. Thank you very much. Pete does the take every day at 10:30. I do the daily crypto bite at 10 a.m. Eastern. And of course, I do 3 at 3. We put up a bunch of other videos, probably somewhere between 5 and 6 full videos a day. And you can get it all on our YouTube channel. So go on over to YouTube and subscribe. You will thank me for it. First trade today of our 3 at 3, FCX, Freeport. Pete talked about this one on the halftime report. Stock was 34.60. They're buying 8,000 of the July 38 calls. So embedded information here. Number one, July. So that's a full expiration out into the future. But we are in the fastest part of the time decay curve. The final month of an option's life, those options, it's like air escaping a balloon. You can hear it if you listen. So 8,000 options is 800,000 shares of stock, because every option's for 100 shares. Multiply 100 by 8,000, you get 800,000. I'm going to buy the at the money and sell the higher strikes. I've been in this one since it was a single digit stock. It has worked and worked and worked. And I think that infrastructure and so forth, what these guys are so strong on is a lot of the materials for infrastructure, as well as some gold and silver and so forth. I like it. There the stock is moving up even on a down. What are we down today? Let me see, 400 and something. Down 463 right now for the Dow, down 142 for the NASDAQ, down 47 or about 1.1% over on the S&P side of the street. So as you see here, the stock trading up, even though we're in a situation where the rest of the market to the downside. Our daily crypto bite, already told you can get it on YouTube. You can also watch it live at 10 a.m. Eastern time. 3 of us break down biggest crypto stories of the day, stories that you don't get elsewhere, perhaps. And we talk about long and short positions. Many of us think that into the Ethereum options expiration next Friday, that we might see even more volatility. I myself have put in some orders where I'm hoping to buy Ethereum around 2,000. It was 2,300 a little bit ago. So I'm looking for a little bit of a decline to be able to pick up Ethereum cheaper. I will put half of that into cold storage. Anyway, if you want to join, it's free. We stream it out on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn, and it goes up on YouTube as well. You can also be in there 24 hours a day. We have people that populate that room, both to answer questions, to put up charts and so forth. To join costs you $1. All you got to do is go to marketrebellion.com/try crypto, and you could be in there too. How about this one? NLE Mortgage, NLY. NLE Mortgage, it was an $8.97 stock when we saw this. As you might imagine, with interest rates down and holding below that March spike that took them up to 175 for the 10-year, came back down, and now we're hardly able to hold 150 area for the 10-year. They're buying 5,300 of the October 10 calls for 8 cents. So those are a little over $1 out of the money. and they're only paying 8 cents. But I'm still going to buy something at the money in that same time frame, in the October timeframe, because I like when they're telling me the time frame of their trigger, and then they're telling me, the strike price, the level. Love both of those tip-offs, and that's why I'm following them into NLY. There it is, virtually the same price it was, $8.97, I think, on the previous slide, $8.96 now. Been a little over $9 today. Could we get to $10 well ahead of October? You bet we could. But whoever did this wanted some time, so I want some time too. MarketRebellion.com/UOA is how you can learn more about what we do with unusual option activity. That's what UOA stands for. And you can go there, MarketRebellion.com/UOA. Check it out. I know you'll thank me for it. Here's the third trade of our 3 at 3, and it is Micron. Micron, MU, bullish call buying. They were buying the September 95 calls, nearly $20 out of the money. Woo! That's a lot. I want to buy something at the money, like the 77.50s or something like that. I don't want to buy something that's $20 out of the money. So I buy one option that is at the money. I sell one option that is out of the money. I make the differential between those two strikes if the stock pops to the level of the higher strike that I've sold. And I take down my exposure to time decay and volatility, among other things. So check it out. Micron, Pete talked about this one on TV as well, about 500,000 share equivalent of those September 95 calls. There is the stock today, 76.77. You can tell it's the end of the week, is where it is now, down considerably from the high of the day, trading at the lows of the day. So if you're a believer, like I am, that somebody thinks they know something for out in September, you could buy something at the money here and save yourself some money and sell a higher strike against it. Like for instance, 75.85, 77.50, 85 or 90, something like that. Those kinds of spreads. Bang. Questions? If you've got questions, we'll have answers for you. You can find out at Jon Najarian. That's at Jon Najarian, Najarian. Let's get to it. XLE, Steve Austin, the $1 million man, actually $6 million man, I guess. Steve Austin says, and his handle is at Steve AU 122476632. What's with that handle? Anyway, Steve Austin, appreciate you sharing this question. Is XLE a buy or a sell on this pullback? If XLE holds around this level, I looked at support and resistance just recently. We are right at a key pivot, 52.75 is that key pivot. So if we hold around this level, then it'll prove to be a buy, Steve Austin. If we do not, then it is not. So that's as definitive as I can get. Yes, there was unusual activity, but it drove it all the way up to 56, I think, on the unusual activity, but we haven't had that for a bit. So that's why I offer that, Steve, that if this pivot doesn't hold, we break through. If it does hold, then I'd put on more. Wish. Let's see. I don't have a question, but I do have a wish. Kentrell Golden says, and Kentrell's handle is at _KENTRELL_G. All right, Kentrell, I liked Wish too. And in fact, I responded to some of the folks with this because my buddy Dominic Chu put out, and because folks have asked, here's the meme stock, that's Rebel Stocks, Dom, Rebel Stocks, from the Thursday CNBC list. Roblox, GameStop, BlackBerry, Context, Logic, which is Wish, ORPH, CLNE, and CLF. So Wish, how's that one working out? Well, chugging along nicely. In fact, we were up to 12, I think, today. And then, along with the softening in the market, This one gave back a lot, if not all of that gain, but the activity in the stock and options remains robust. Quad witching, my buddy Nathan Merchaud, who's got a nice blue check. Nice job, Nate. By his Investors Live. Be aware, quad witching day, cautious into the close. So far, that caution hasn't been necessary. It's been necessary from the start of the day, but not in the close, not yet. I imagine there's probably been some margin selling today in some of the stocks that have been battered. Knock on wood, most of ours have not, but I'm keeping a close eye on it nonetheless, Nate. And I think you're always a good man to point this out to the people that follow you over at Investors Live. Thank you. And as usual, I'm going to wind up with this slide that says, join the rebellion, marketrebellion.com/get started. That'll let you join and become a member and get educated, subscribe to subscriptions like unusual option activity, maybe do grab a coach or a mentor. We got all of that for stock, options, futures, crypto at marketrebellion.com. Just go check it out, folks. You will thank me for it. You might even want to buy one for your significant other, grandchild, son, daughter, whatever. Anyway, thank you for joining me today. If you're a member, by the way, you'll be able to join us for the cocktail hour, which begins in about an hour and 40 minutes from right now. All of our members can join for free for that cocktail hour where all of our experts opine on what we've seen for the week. If you'd like to join, if you're a subscriber to any of our offerings, you could join for free at 4 p.m. No, I'm sorry, 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern time, cocktail time. See you then. Bang.